Easy Point, what's up, Brian?
Yeah, that was a real good interview.
Yeah, he's fun. He's a nice. It's good to see him happy, you know.
Yeah, and like that was the whole thing a couple weeks ago, where the brother may have said like, "Oh, you better keep him happy," but he doesn't seem like a guy who's going to be incredibly difficult to keep happy. They just got to make sure when they hit free agency, they bring in a lunch pail guy like in the Jimmy Butler type.
Has to have an Oakley. He needs an Oakley.
He needs protection up front.
Right, he needs an Oakley.
Yeah, and
they got to get him.
Giving that to him a little
They need a real Maurice Lucas and Oakley guy.
Yeah,
That the next time that guy goes in there and starts to push him around, he goes over there and makes sure the next time down the court that guy gets it.
Yeah, well, and the great part about having a guy like that, Mike, is he'll guard the center for him on a couple of trips.
Absolutely, and you got to have that guy. When you have this kind of star, they're going to try and beat him up. You got to have a guy who will go in there and make it known that you're not allowed to beat my guy up. Okay, that's just the way it is.
And the next thing they're going to need is a guy in the 2 or 3 spot who can score and defend in that Butler mold, but like someone who's going to just come in and do his job.
I want a better shooter than Butler, though. I want a better in that spot. I want a better shooter than that because I don't think that Nicolin is going to be that great a shooter. I think he's going to be a scorer. I think he's going to be okay. But I don't think he's going to be a killer scorer. I think he could turn into a very good player. But I just don't think. I think the 2 guy or the 3 guy is going to have to be a better scorer. They need one more guy. Like if you tell me I could play the rookie and Monk in the same backcourt with Porzingus, oh, forget it. With Monk, oh my God. I mean, that guy's going to be lights out when he learns the league. Just lights out with that shot. David in Millburn, what's up, David?
Hey, Mike. Depending how the draft goes in the NFL, if the Giants are able to pick up, say, Donaldson,
do you think that Sam Donald.
Eli would? You think that Eli would play for the Jets?
Absolutely. I mean, if he was waived as no trade and was dealt there, I can't see them making a trade, though. He's still got time on his contract. You know, he would have to be released, which I don't think is going to happen. I think Eli has a no trade. That's the thing. The Giants are going to make a trade with the Jets. That's the only thing. But I think, would Eli go somewhere else and play? Absolutely. He could do that. I mean, listen, many great quarterbacks. Joe Montana, Joe Namath. Go down the line. I mean, many great quarterbacks. Archie Manning. I can give you 1 million. Played on other teams. It happens all the time. It's not an unusual occurrence. Billy and Bay Ridge. What's up, Billy?
Hey, Mike. Good interview. I was going to ask you about the Giants, but I just want to tell you about Porzingus and the Knicks. I've watched more games this year than I have in the last 5 to 10 years, and it's all because of Porzingus.
Porzingus. He's good enough to get his name right. Porzingus. Or just call him KP. You're fine with KP. Absolutely, KP is fine. Lou in Astoria. What's up, Lou?
Hey, Mike. How you doing?
Good. What's up?
All KP needs really to do it. He has a great future ahead of him. Just put a few weights on. Maybe get a little physical stronger because Howard, for instance, I mean, he roughed him up, and I didn't even like that, but what are you going to do? Now, as far as the manager for the Yankees, David Cohen, remember a long time ago when David Cohen in the dugout, Woody Harrelson was the manager of the Yankees, with the Mets, and he almost went to a physical fight with him. Do you remember that incident?
Listen, I'm not worried about... Listen, if they were going to go to David Cohen, I don't think they are. I'm not worried about anything in David's past that would bother me, okay? Not worried about it. Not worried about anything. Not worried anything about... Go back to his childish days, his immature days. I'm not worried about any of that stuff. But I don't think he's going to get the job. But I think he'd be an intriguing candidate. I really would, because of his mentality. I think he's got a very interesting mentality about baseball. I think he's very much a big game, hired gun type of guy who understands the idea of winning baseball. I've always thought that. Charles in Connecticut. What's up, Charles?
Hey, Mike. Great to talk to you again.
Hey, what's up?
Finally seeing some life for the Knicks after a long wait, and it's very exciting.
It is.
What do you see as the path forward next year to keep building this team? I know it's so hard with the draft. And
listen, you try to add, what you try to do is add a piece every year with this group. That's what you try to do, and if you do it soundly, if Nicolina winds up being a very sound player at the point. If you have him and obviously a budding superstar in Porzingus, if you have that, if you can bring one attractive wing free agent to the Knicks, whether he play the 2 or the 3, or play both, or be versatile in that regard. But what you're looking for is somebody who can make a shot, because in this league, you've got to have multiple 3 shooters. You have to. You have to be able to do it. You got to have guys who can knock down a 3. You have to be able to do it. And if they can have one more, I mean, the perfect player would be Thompson. I mean, that would be the perfect player. If you start with him as a 10 and work your way down, that's your perfect player. I mean, if I could have a wish list, I move him in and play him at the 2, and oh my God. I mean, would you love this team or what? I mean, you would absolutely love it. He does need an enforcer type. He needs the classic bodyguard. Oakley, Maurice Lucas, Davis of Indiana. That kind of, absolute bodyguard type of guy. He needs one of those. He does. Because that way, when somebody decides they're going to use him as a little bit of a punching bag or throw him around the court a little bit, you go in there and rough him up. I mean, next time down the court, that guy understands he's going to get nailed, and you just send the message that you're not roughing my guy up here. I mean, many of the guys have always had that guy. They've always, Chamberlain didn't need that guy, but Russell had guys who did that, and even though he didn't need it, Jabbar always needed a guy like that. Walton had Maurice Lucas. You go down the line, Ewing had Oakley. You want to have that guy that can be that enforcer for you when you need it. Todd in Long Island, what's up, Todd?
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Good, what's up?
Hey, first time, long time.
Yeah, good.
Hey, what do you think about the Jets' chances this weekend? Because it seems like just a classic game that they could put up a dud.
I'm a little worried about the game this weekend. I'm hopeful that they play well. I think they'll play hard. They've played hard every game, but I do not think this is an easy assignment at all. I think this is a rough. I think this game is scary. I really do. I think there's been way too much confidence this week that this is an easy game for the Jets. I do not believe it is at all. I really don't. I think it can be a very tough game. Phil and Shirley, what's up, Phil?
What's going on, Mike? A couple things about the Knicks. I couldn't agree more. We definitely need a wing player. I do like how Hardaway's been playing. He's been a little inconsistent some nights. Courtney Lee's been playing great. McDermott had his nights playing good, but he's a liability on the defensive end. Lance Thomas brings you good D.
Lance Thomas gives you a very good D. He doesn't have to shoot at all. So he
does, exactly, which I do. I do like about that. But, Mike, one of the things, I do like the way Jared Jackson playing, but how long is that going to be? You know what I mean? Frankie's definitely going to have to start taking over the starting role.
He will. Give him time. Let him get 20, 30 games under his belt.
I agree. We're going to need another guy, though, because I just can't see Jared Jack being there all
season. You're not going
to
build this in a day, but as long as you start to build it, and this is New York City, it's the Knicks, you can attract, with that point guard and that scorer, you can attract a player here. That's all you have to do, and it doesn't have to be the best player in the league. You don't have to attract, LeBron James here. And as basketball will show you all the time, adding stars is not, or adding, guys who are named players or stars in basketball does not make you better. If you add 35 home runs in right field in a baseball team and 100 RBIs, you're going to be better. You're not worried about chemistry. You're not worried about anything. In basketball, the chemistry is so subtle and so delicate. You can be worse by adding better. All you have to look at right now is this experiment in Oklahoma City with George and Anthony and Westbrook. Right now, doesn't look very pretty. Now, maybe they'll figure it out. Maybe they won't. Sometimes more is less. And a lot of times in basketball, less is more. Give me definable roles. Give me definable role players, and I'll win a lot more than if you give me a bunch of, big name offensive players. You only get to play one ball in this league. Here's Joey.